Ashes of Creation just completely failed. The company got basically shut down. And shouldn't have done that. Sorry. And it's not the first time that things like these happen with MMOs. And we are now watching Just Try Phase. Why does this keep happening? I mean, we all know why, right? We all know. Greed and stupidity. A lot of stupidity. If you see a company, a gaming company, a new one, say, oh my god, we are making an MMORPG as their first game, you know it's going to fail. Because that's what... I've never heard of any company that did that and didn't fail. Literally.
Ashes of Creation, a Kickstarter MMORPG which raised millions of dollars through a combination of private investment, Kickstarter support, paid for early access, and extremely expensive in-game shop items and bundles, promised players a complex, deep, and reactive world, and has shut down roughly 1 month after releasing into early access on Steam. And this news has shocked absolutely no one who has seen this story play out again and again and again.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, if anything is wrong with my microphone, let me know. That goes for everyone. Let me know. And absolutely no one is surprised by this. Well, by this, yes, maybe, because it didn't look like it would happen this way, because the CEO of the company privately funded the game. But it seems like some things happened, and now it's all over.
Project overpromises and raises money through hopes and dreams. People are skeptical and get called haters, then the project dies, and yet it will continue to play out again many more times in our lifetimes because the MMORPG player base are desperate, trusting, and easily convinced a bright new future lays just beyond the horizon, and the next project will be the one, guys, for real, trust me, bro. But why?
Yes, exactly like that. 100%. And I know that because I've seen that a lot of times already. A lot of times, actually. For years, I'm watching videos about exactly this. A new MMO is on Kickstarter and everyone goes, oh my god, this is so great. And then it never happened. All the time.
Why does this keep happening? Why do Kickstarted crowdfunded MMORPG projects keep popping up, promising something amazing, taking loads of money off you, and then dying without giving you a game? And more important...
Because they are scams.
Importantly, why do people keep throwing money at them, assuming this will be the one that finally delivers all its promises, as if we have...
Because they are desperate. And stupid.
No precedent for what is likely to happen. Well, I think I can explain it, at least a bit of it, and it's mostly to do with how these people that support these projects aren't actually buying a game. They're putting a down payment on a potential future community which involves them, because no current community does.
Exactly.
Hello, I'm Josh Hayes. I make videos about MMORPGs. I cover everything from games which released decades ago like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars 2 or The Elder Scrolls Online, up to the most popular MMORPGs of today like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars 2 and The Elder Scrolls Online. List hasn't changed, it will never change. But why? Why hasn't a new upstart game broken into the cycle and taken the player base away? Where is the WoW killer everyone keeps talking about? And why do Kickstarter MMORPGs keep promising the world, collecting millions of pounds of backers' money, and then not delivering?
I remember back in the day when Age of Conan was about to come out. It was called a WoW killer. It came out and it was... I think it was the first or one of the few first games that came out in beta status. And it didn't have the status of a beta, but It was very clearly not a finished product. Simply because of all the bugs that were in the game. Oh my god, the game was so buggy. I remember, there still is a fix in the game for a bug, for a quest that was broken in the starting area. I don't know if they ever fixed the bug, but the fix for the bug is still in the game. Or at least it was when I last played. And it's basically skipping either the quest or some quest dialogue that would, I think, crash the game or something like that. I'm not even sure anymore what it did. Man, it was really bad. That's on top of enemies in at least one dungeon being on the wall instead of on the ground for no apparent reason. Looked funny, but it wasn't funny.
And why will they keep doing this forever? To understand why this Ashes of Creation thing happened, and why it will happen again, we need to look at the state of the genre as a whole, the general player base, the hardcore, terminally online people who keep saying they want a new MMORPG and why they want that, and then why it seems accepted that giving millions of pounds to a project which isn't playable is fine, but if an actual existing game asked for the same things, they'd be raked over the coals. So let's look at that. As usual, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep this channel alive. More information on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. And let's begin with something really direct. I don't really care about Ashes of Creation. I made a video 4 years ago called Don't Believe the Hype, where I was heavily critical of the game project back then as well. I've no interest in it because I knew it was going through the same motions I've seen others go through before. I'm not saying I knew all along or I told you so.
I think I saw that video. Oh, yes, I saw it. I saw it, definitely. And 4 years ago, Jesus, I'm so old. 4 years ago, I was 38. Oh, God.
I'm saying that I'm hedging my bets based on the evidence we have. And when I heard it shut down because the director, Stephen Shariff, was removed and the board of directors were making changes he couldn't agree with, I wasn't particularly upset. I did find it odd that Stephen has repeatedly said they don't have investors they answer to, and then the board of directors, according to the incorporation documents, was him. But actually, no, the company was sold a few months ago, and now they do because it was sold to private equity. And remember, the original Kickstarter had the clause, if the game doesn't release, they'll refund everyone, which sounds great. And then just over a month ago, the game released on Steam, meaning this clause is now legally covered. Awfully convenient that. It's almost like it was planned specifically to do that, but I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Look, this is a complex thing. I don't have visibility behind the scenes for any actual sources. I'd suggest you go and watch Kira TV's video on the whole mess. He's been following this way longer than I have and has a far deeper understanding than I do. He makes videos with patience and integrity. I don't care about...
Totally agree. Reacted to a bunch of his videos on my channel. And yeah, he's really good at what he is doing. He's really good.
Ashes of Creation specifically. But what I do care about is why do people keep giving projects like this money? Why is it a cycle? Why have we seen MMORPGs pop up, promise the world, take money, and then die again and again? Why do people point out the risks with these projects, the issues, the red flags, and yet the supporters rabidly defend their project, often bullying or harassing people who speak out against it? Why are people so emotionally invested in something which doesn't actually exist? To understand how we've got here, and why we will be here again and again no matter what we do, I need to say something people may not like, but allow me to explain. MMORPGs aren't good games. At least not from a game design point of view where maximizing the fun at a moment-to-moment level is the priority. I say this as someone...
Let's look at it. World of Warcraft. I mean, Modern WoW definitely is not well designed. At least not for an average player. Vanilla WoW. Vanilla WoW. It had some problems. Definitely, absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah. Age of Conan, yeah, that game had a lot of problems. Mostly technically. Wait, is he really absolutely right about this, that MMOs aren't great games? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's literally just the interactions with other people that make the game so good. Oh shit. Oh god, yeah. But I think I came to that conclusion years ago already. Now I'm kind of confused about myself.
Who loves the genre and has thousands of hours in multiple games, the moment-to-moment gameplay is mediocre at best in most of them, and kind of dull in some of them, because the gameplay was never really the focus. The main selling point was this is a virtual world. You can have a second life in it. There's even a game literally called Second Life because it understands this. While tab target combat is perfectly functional with lots of people, and action combat can be engaging and flashy and exciting, if an MMORPG released as a single-player RPG, it would likely be slated as players would say it's way too grindy, way too many reskinned enemies or formulaic quests, dungeons or bosses. And that's because one of the focuses of the MMO is having a lot of stuff. And the easiest way to make a lot of stuff is to make the player do the same stuff a lot. Repetition and grind is kind of the point. It's a genre aiming at a player base who like the grind. And what makes the grind enjoyable was always the player base itself. Now this...
Yes, absolutely, I agree. I absolutely agree. For example, I like... The thing I like the most about Arc Raiders is the looting, which is literally just grinding. It literally is just grinding. You're grinding. You're just grinding. You're literally just grinding. You go around, open shit, get the loot. It's literally just a game. And then there are enemies sometimes. Oh my god. The game is very, very simple. Very simple. But that's why I like it.
Doesn't mean always actively interacting with other people. I've made a video on why many people play MMORPGs solo. I do myself many times. But it's the presence of other people within a world which makes the world pleasant to exist within. You can talk to other people, chill together, work together, or enjoy the human ambience created by knowing other people can see your achievements and you're progressing through and contributing to a world other people also love. You have...
Yes, and that's why Arc Raiders, and yes, I will always going back to Arc Raiders because I like the game so much. Arc Raiders gives me the same vibes Vanilla WoW gave me. And I'm not just saying that, I mean that. I'm as excited about Arc Raiders as I was about Vanilla WoW. It's the same excitement. And I haven't felt the excitement of that. Maybe I felt the same excitement in Age of Conan. But I don't remember that. I don't remember it that well. Because I only played it for about 2 years. Only. Maybe 3. But the impact that Vanilla WoW had on me was massive. And Arc Raiders is turning out to be at least somewhat at the same height of impact for me, which kind of is weird because it's there's a time difference of 20 years. And I wouldn't have thought that I would ever feel like this again. I mean, I was in my early 20s back then, and I'm now in my early 40s. So this is kind of weird, right?
Value and connection, even if not actively explored. Which means the biggest strength of the MMORPG genre was the community around it. Now, playing games with other people online used to be a novel thing, and MMOs really tapped into this as their central focus, their core design. Play with other people. And as the years have moved on, that's not novel anymore. And now the MMORPG genre is trying to compete in a mechanical way against other games like MOBAs or Battle Royales, which was never really the point. The MMORPG was never trying to be the most technically advanced game, it was trying to be a digital third space, a social hangout with mechanics attached. I see MMORPG.
And that's where they were shining. It literally was. Especially on role-playing servers. And WoW role-playing servers were amazing. And that's where I always played because I was a role player. I liked doing it. Now in Classic WoW, I did not because I already played on role-playing servers, so I wanted to do the PvE shit. And that worked out well too. It was fun. Especially in TBC Classic. Man, I loved playing my Draenei Shaman. It was so cool. Being top in damage. Beautiful. Beautiful.
RPGs as old-fashioned chat rooms with a game attached. And it's that community that played them, which people keep coming back for. You can endure a mediocre game just like a mediocre job because the people around you make it fun. In fact, whenever I ask someone why they stopped playing any specific MMORPG, it's very rarely because of a technical or mechanical reason. It's often because their mates stopped playing. The community dried up. The social aspect slowed down. Indeed, the MMORPG genre has had the same few games dominate it for decades, not because they are the best designed video games, but because they are the best designed communities. It's a symbiotic connection. The MMORPG game creates the community, and the community supports the game. Remove one, you often lose the other. Now we have to understand, the vast majority of people who engage in a thing, be that a game, a sport, a music, a hobby, anything really, they don't engage with it beyond the thing itself. They are casual fans, and that's totally okay. People may listen to a band and enjoy the music, but anything further, such as knowing all the band members' names, their earlier works, which brand of equipment they use, that kind of doesn't matter to a casual enjoyer. That's more of a hardcore fan thing. People can enjoy an actor without knowing anything about the actor's personal life, and people can enjoy a video game without engaging with the forums or subreddit or real-life meetups of that game. And this means the people who log into an MMORPG, enjoy it, and log out are the casual fans. They aren't posting on forums or watching Twitch streamers or complaining about patch notes on YouTube videos. That's reserved for the more enfranchised hardcore. So when people tell me every MMORPG player is unhappy with the genre...
So literally, I have always been a hardcore player since when? Basically, since the internet, I would guess. Since I had internet. And I played multiplayer games, So for 20 years, not that I wasn't hardcore before, I played a lot of video games. A lot. But there was, no media to consume outside of playing the game.
Because they see a few people complaining online or a few people looking for a new game constantly, I have to remind people, you're only seeing people so enfranchised they actively engage beyond the thing itself. The people who are happy with whatever game they play are just playing that game. I have loads of friends who are totally happy playing RuneScape or World of Warcraft or Lord of the Rings Online, and when I ask if they would leave their game for a new MMORPG that is technically better, they say no. Not because they think the game they play already has the best graphics or the best music or the most amazing, incredible systems, but because to them, it's not just the game on a technical level, but the community and connection to the game which matters to them. So while this video is going to look into the type...
Yes, absolutely. And to be absolutely fair here, watching this video makes me want to play vanilla Classic WoW again. And I shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
Of people who give money to ambitious MMORPG projects, please understand we're talking about a subset of people within a subset of players within a subset genre. So we have a genre of game which often lives or dies on its community, with the people who are happy and comfortable in whatever their community is just enjoying being there. This means, from my experience of talking to many MMO players, the people constantly pining for a new MMO to come along and change things, the players most desperate to jump into something new, are often the players who aren't part of an established community in any other game. They don't feel they have a stable or solid guild or clanmates, sometimes even consistent online friends. They're often players who are trying to play MMO games without the support of also being in the community of those games, which means they have to judge the games not as a social hangout, but as a mechanical experience, and that's always been a weaker aspect. The players who are constantly looking for the next big thing are often wrongly convinced it's the mechanical aspects of an MMO which will then build the community, and not the players constantly sticking together and interacting despite the mechanics not being the best. This means a new MMO won't capture players by just promising new mechanics, because the happy players are content playing whatever their game is, but promising a new community to be a part of. That's a human need. That's a very attractive marketing angle. That's why we see a systemic focus on highlighting all the ways these new games will have interconnected communities and how you as a player will matter. There's a reason whenever a new MMORPG project needs funding, it focuses on marketing phrases like player-driven, player-created, skill-based, your story, guilds, clans, build your own city, game reacts to your actions, living, breathing world, non-repeatable quests, your choices matter. It's because those designs put the individual into a position of power within the game world, and being in a position of power is a strong desire for someone who wants to be important in an MMO, but doesn't feel that in any of the current ones.
Yes.
But then a new game gets announced, a brand new MMORPG which will change things. It will be amazing, incredible, have systems that revolutionize the genre, change gaming forever. It will be everything you want it to be, and the people without a stable community in one of the existing games get very excited. Because to them, this isn't just a new game. It's a brand new chance at being involved in a community.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree with him. 100% absolutely. And I think I had an epiphany. That's why I changed MMOs. Because I had no community in the old one, so I changed to a new one. And to be fair, I did find communities in the new games, depending on what game it was. In Age of Conan, I easily found one. I don't know how fast, I don't remember, but I literally had 2 different raid groups that were raiding on different days of the week. And I was successful in both of them. It was amazing. Man, I still remember that one time I had to tank tier 2 with a tank that wasn't even ready, that was barely ready, not even ready for tier 1. That tank didn't even had all maximum level items. And I don't mean item level. I mean level 80 was maximum, and I was still running around and stuff that was that I got in level 60 something. Man, that was brutal. That was brutal, but I managed through it. And I even got items. Imagine that. You have never tanked tier 1, but you're taking tier 2 and you get tier 2 items out of that. Oh, that was so good. It was so good. It was amazing. So good.
Which doesn't yet exist, and so hasn't had a hierarchy set. When a Kickstarter asks for money for this brand new virtual world that will be everything you imagine, many people who support them aren't buying a product. They're buying a dream, placing a down payment on a future friendship group, investing in a social connection they don't have, or haven't found in any current game. This is why announced games have such outlandish and incredible sounding design, 1,000-player battles, unique player housing systems, reactive worlds, player-driven economies on a micro level, a future which changes based on your decisions, skill-based everything. These mechanical features are indeed something the MMORPG genre doesn't usually go for, because of the technical limitations, or the mechanical quality was never really the focus of the genre. These claims of amazing things are for marketing, to grab headlines, and importantly, to give the investors and the evangelical supporters something to preach to the non-believers about what the game will have once the game is actually made.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. There's no disagreement from me here. He's absolutely right. It's always the same thing. Always.
Because saying, I'm investing in this because I want to feel part of a community and haven't found one I gel with and feel this may create one I can be involved with from the start, thus grandfathering myself into the social fabric of society within the game and being important, doesn't flow as much as, the game is going to be sick because it has cool features your game doesn't have. It not only creates the us versus them mentality, but then actively supports it. This is why communities instantly spring up around unreleased games or projects, with people suddenly interacting, meeting other supporters, chatting via the Kickstarter comments, Discord groups which are formed, forums, YouTubers start to cover the information, communities begin to form around the game even though it doesn't exist, and anyone who is critical of the game often gets attacked by that community, because to the community that is forming, that game isn't just a game, it's the start of a new symbiotic relationship between game and community, community and game, and critiquing any part of that process is attacking the process, preventing it from happening. And the process has to happen to form those connections, to maintain them, for them to be important at all. Because the game needs to exist for their community, their social group, to exist. And if they have so much time to dedicate to this new one that doesn't even exist yet, it's often because they haven't found stability in another. The groups of players which form around a new game project and then become friends, and indeed real friends, often know on some level that the project is the glue holding the community together. And if the project fails, the friendships will fail and fall away too. Think about how many times you've had work friends, then when you leave a job, you never see them again. It's the same principle, but with a game. Connection has value, and the people who support these projects do make connections and do value them even though the game doesn't exist. And you're not wrong for valuing them. They are important things. So why does this affect the MMORPG genre and player base so much? Disproportionately so. Why are MMORPG projects seeking millions in funding often more successful than, say, a smaller single-player game seeking far less? Well, if
I would guess that it's the social aspect. It's simply the social aspect. And maybe also because a lot of the people that play MMORPGs are kind of weird. And yes, I'm including myself in there.
If you want me to be candid and direct, it's because the MMORPG genre often encourages unhealthy play behaviors built around spending vast amounts of time inside it, and then rewards those who have strong community connections within the games, and thus access
Weird people.
to stable and capable teammates to complete the harder content. This leads to a group of people who spend so long online they lose or damage real-life social connections. So when those players,
like I said, weird people like me,
either burn out of a game, get kicked out of their community, or leave for any other reason, you've got a subset of hardcore gamers who often place online gaming above real-life socializing, who want to spend hours and hours a day inside a virtual world, who are desperate for a new community to be a part of, and want to be important within that community. But they've
weird people like me. Literally me. I remember times where I spent 10 plus hours in World of Warcraft every day. Those weren't my best times in my life. The exact opposite. And still, looking at this makes me want to play the game. Because it reminds me of my addiction. Man, I was so addicted to this fucking game. So addicted. So addicted. So addicted. Story time. One time I was farming PvP token points, whatever, honor, for a weapon, an epic weapon. For my warrior to raid with. And the day before the raid was set to go out, the raid was set to go out on a Wednesday, and I didn't have all my honor yet, so I farmed honor. I played the game for 24 hours. I did get the honor, but there was a reset. The honor that I got didn't count in the second half of my streaming, no, my playing. The last 6 hours didn't count. They didn't count for the first week, only in the second week, because of resets thingies. And yeah, that's when I got hemorrhoids. Oh my god. Turns out sitting for 24 hours on your fat ass is not healthy for you. I could have guessed.
Already gone through the games that exist and haven't found what they're looking for. Often not because they haven't found a game they like, but because they're looking to be part of something beyond a game, part of a social group. And those isolated or displaced players are willing to throw money at the potential of connection within a world which doesn't exist. A world where they are who they want to be, because it happens in the future, where they could be anything. Marketing people in the audience will know you don't sell a product, you sell a lifestyle. As a product, an MMORPG game is a fading genre populated by an aging player base. But as a lifestyle, it's still a gaming connection that people want. And selling tickets to the next big thing grand opening gala is far more impressive and prestigious than waiting for the thing to open and then selling normal tickets. People want to be at the premiere because they get seen being at the premiere, and this makes them important within the community, which will hopefully form around the thing. Consider this. When a Kickstarter MMORPG, a project or game which does not exist and is not playable, gives people the opportunity to pay hundreds or even thousands of pounds to support it, people do. And people then defend doing so. Maybe they believe in the project. But more often, I've found it's because those people are buying the future fantasy of social involvement and a community they fit in. They are buying the potential of a dream. Now imagine if an existing MMORPG offered shop options of future things for hundreds or thousands of pounds, or things which may want.
It would be criticized heavily. Heavily. Yeah, it would be. Absolutely. 100%.
One day exist. The communities would hate that. They'd call it greedy, a scam. They'd say, why are you asking for money for a product which doesn't exist within a game which does? And then consider the absurdity of this. Why are people more comfortable giving millions of pounds to a project which may possibly exist than giving the same amount of money to a project which actively currently does exist? It's because they aren't buying access to the game. They are buying the dream. And a dream.
Do you see this? Becca only weapon skins. That's horrible. Becca only armor skin. Oh, well, those are basically just early access things for everyone. Not early access. Pre-purchase things that every game does these days. Yeah.
Is always perfect. Again, understand that an MMORPG player who is just happy and content with their current game and their current community is not giving hundreds or thousands of pounds to a project promising a new one. The people often supporting these projects at the highest price points are desperate for a community to belong in, and these projects know that. Giving money to a product which already exists means facing its flaws and facing the daunting task of ingratiating yourself into a community which already exists, climbing a social hierarchy which already exists, and accepting you may not be an important person straight away. You may fade into the crowd. It means dealing with social engagement where your value comes from you and you alone, and making friends as an adult is hard, especially when everyone else already has years of connection to each other. It's daunting. If you're coming from another MMORPG that you've played for years, it might mean unlearning mechanical systems and learning new ones, the embarrassment of failure. But when a game is brand new, everyone's suddenly in the same position. You're not the new guy, the outcast, or the extra anymore. You're suddenly one of the pioneers.
What the fuck is this? What? This looks horrible. Oh my god. I mean, we have cat girl, we have blonde chick, and we have demon. What the fuck is this? This looks horrible. Just horrible. This looks like... This looks like a game you would see in the background of a TV show being played. Hey, Ellie.
The founders. You're in at the ground floor. And if the community grows, you won't just be some guy. You'll be one of the originals.
Yeah, it does look as,
That is a very attractive concept for people who don't currently have a community. But a new MMO, a brand new community, that's a new start. Everyone wants to connect. That's a fresh chance at being a someone, a chance at belonging. And if it's still being designed, maybe a chance to suggest tweaks and changes which will make it more like a game you once loved, to reclaim a level of familiarity.
Yeah.
This is often why some of the highest, most expensive Kickstarter tiers have you designing aspects of the game. It's a way of saying, hey, not only is there a community, but you are important in it. This is another reason why so many Kickstarted MMORPGs often focus on the hardcore full loot PvP crowd, because those are often the players who, if not entrenched in a specific game long term, are so desperate to find a new community, because the games they latch onto often dwindle and die out, precisely because the design of them isn't conducive to holding a community long term. The players happy to ride the roller coaster of a theme park MMORPG, well, they're just doing that. And that's why the genre has been the same games for the past 10 years, because those are the communities which have endured, and that's why people will keep throwing money at new MMORPG projects, because those people haven't found a community they fit into yet, and the new game is promising to be just that. And that's why games almost never release, because the MMO genre is incredibly expensive, and even when they do, the community is small, and often proceeds to just keep getting smaller until it can't sustain itself, and the cycle begins again.
Remember, just running the servers costs you millions per month. Millions. It's so expensive. It's wow. It's really wow.
Another project appears, promising another dream, and people throw money at that one too. So the next time you see an MMORPG project like this, consider if you are being sold a dream of a potential future, and then try to wake up before deciding to give it your money. I firmly believe the MMORPG genre's greatest strength is not being the most technically advanced gaming experience, but the community within the games. Mechanically, all MMOs have glaring flaws. A brand new one won't change those. And a player desperate for a new MMORPG is often not crying out for a mechanical revolution within the game experience itself, but for a community to belong to experience the mechanics of the game with. This is why you won't see a WoW killer, no matter how mechanically advanced a new game is.
Yeah.
Because it's never been about making a better game on a technical level.
Yes.
It's about displacing a community which has endured for decades.
Yes.
Which you won't do. It's why City of Heroes was revived. It's why old school RuneScape exists. It's why EverQuest is more popular than EverQuest 2. The communities of those games endured. And if you as an MMORPG player are waiting for the next big thing, maybe understand that it might not actually be a new game you're waiting for. It might just be a new community within a game that exists right now. We would love to play that game with you and help you feel involved, connected, and wanted. Maybe in the future a new MMO will release and succeed. But until then, you don't need to give your money to people selling you a dream.
Yeah.
And there are communities in games awake and playing right now who would love to have you. Go and find a community and have fun in a game which exists. Make those connections in the present instead of paying for a future which you may not get. Cheers for watching. Another massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who help this channel stay alive. You can support from only £1 a month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, Insta, and our Discord, a community you are welcome to join.
Tough video? Not really. It's... He is right about literally everything he said. Literally everything. But the worst thing about this video is that it makes me want to play World of Warcraft Classic again. Which is really bad. I don't want to give Blizzard money. But damn, looking at this makes me so want to play the game. So much. Oh god. I want to play this game so much. Oh my god. You never played it? Good for you. I did. I played this game for almost 20 years. And Vanilla WoW, or Classic now, is in my eyes the best version of the game. Until, for me, to the Burning Crusade. I really liked that too. Wrath of the Lich King, I hated. I always hated. That's where I stopped playing the game. Well, actually before it came out. And then I switched to Age of Conan Hyborian Adventures, which I played for 2 or 3 years. And I had a lot of fun there. A lot of fun. Man. Yeah, makes me absolutely want to play the game. Absolutely, 100%. Man, I kind of miss that game. I kind of miss that game.